So how in traditional Kundalini Hatha Yoga do we organize the practices, the postures and so on? Do we organize them based on, like in modern postural yoga, how you're moving? If you're back bending, forward bending, side bending, twisting, you know? No, we don't, because that is to think of the body as a discrete entity, a little lump of clay, and to miss it, that we really are a rainbow light body in hiding, right? So we're invoking the red light body, we're feeling the breath and sensations, all of our baby steps that are developing a sensation body, an energy body, a space body of awareness. We want to stay with that idea. And even the way our practices are organized reflects that idea and comes from that idea. So we then relate to our practice and our body in this way, as light moving slowly that we can expand to attain its original nature. In this way, the physical body is seen as a combination of the 5 elemental lights. In the cosmology of the Mahasiddhas, all things arise as combinations and permutations of the 5 elemental lights. Human body is no different. We arise as an individual consciousness, and then the karmas that we bring through into this world are mediated and projected by the chakras as the 5 elemental lights. That's what brings everything into being, including the body, including everything we see outside of us, so-called outside of us. Everything's actually inside of us, but we don't know that yet. So seeing the body, understanding the body as 5 elemental lights moves us closer to the understanding and being in that reality. So we want to understand our body as these lights, but also we want to perceive that energy is moving through the body and that the body is energy. We don't really want to have just the idea that we're a physical chunk of energy and then we have little like acupuncture channels moving through us like little rivers of energy. That's not really what we want. We want to have the idea that we are a subtle type of energy, that the substance of the channels is also flowing through the channels, which makes the channel structure, which makes the whole experience of a body inside space, right? Now, we don't want to strain our minds to hold an inner visual of that while we're practicing. It's a soft second attention of it. But as we do more of the practices, especially as we move into level 2, 3, especially in level 3, by then, that can become a reality for us. We can start to really experience, hey, my nature is actually light energy. I'm really getting that now. A universal non-dual kind of light energy. At that point, your mind will be dissolved very much in that energy at that time too. So it all begins with relating to your body and organizing the practices and postures in a very different way than just doing it by anatomical movements as is done in studio yoga, modern postural yoga, okay? So it increases our potential for realizing our true nature when we think differently about us, right? Not organs and tissues. So we invoke the red light body, but then we organize the practices, the asana themselves, into what we call 6 families of asana or practices. And they're based on the front channel. What yoga practices activate strongly the front channel? And then, of course, we have another category for the back channel. What yoga practices, postures, breathing, kidney breathing, etc. What is it, Kriya up the back channel, that really activates the back channel? So we have front channel family asana and practices, back channel family asana and practices. Asana is the word for postures, in case you don't know, right? Then we have the belt channel family of practices. What asana, what postures, and what breathing and kriyas, etc., and visualizations and chakras and bindus are related to the belt channel all the way around, right? So this is a channel not talked about very much, but this is very, very powerful in our practice. It relates to the neck channels, belt channels and neck channels, the 2 areas that connect us, right? We have this torso area, then we have a kumbha here or a vase up here, a kumbha here in the chest, and a kumbha down below, and they're connected by these interesting areas which are stacked vertebrae, right? So it's a belt channel. We also have a lot of very traditional yoga points of energy around the neck, right, as well. So it's like a neck channel too, but we don't use it that much in yoga. Now, the side channels also are another set of channels that we organize postures and practices around. The rising nectar channel as well. This is an interesting channel. It's considered to be the energy that moves upward in the central channel. That's given its own discrete category because there are a lot of practices we have to move the energy up. Of course, the energy has to be able to move down too and distribute, circulate everywhere. But generally, we are so conditioned by gravity and by our orientation of the spacious sky above us and the thick solid earth below us that we think about expansion as going up. We think about refinement as going up. The refined floats to the top, you know, we scoop it off, this kind of idea. So rising nectar channel is pertaining to all of the practices and postures that assist and help let the energy rise either through the central channel, the front channel, or the back channel towards the crown, or another chakra along the way, depending on what practice you're doing. The very last channel family is the central channel family, which is more about total equanimity, where you're abiding, the central channel is completely open because the right channels and left channel are nice and harmonized, and it allows all three to exist in a beautiful harmony and cooperation, which makes the central open very strongly. And this central channel family is not so much about energy moving in the channel by different physical postures you're holding or breath you're doing, as much as it is attaining the equanimity and the abiding in your essential nature of your central channel. The central channel that goes from the crown point in the head down to the perineum in the subtle body and extends down through the legs into the earth, up through the arms and so on. This central channel is seen to be the symbol in our tradition of the spaciousness, awareness, and love of your most highest realization of human nature, right? So this family, this central channel family of practices are used when we're bringing that experience on, mostly, okay? And they're the first, some of them are the first asana that are discussed in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Before you get all the strenuous asana, you get the central family asana introduced first, which says a lot about the primacy, how important they are in yoga practice, in real Kundalini Hatha Yoga practice. Then we have the 3 Bindus of organization. So I could be doing a posture that has me aligned like this. I could be doing it standing with my hands in a certain position and maybe breathing up, which makes it a white Bindu practice, more around the head center. Not chakras so much, but the whole quality of wisdom comes on there. Or I could make it about the red channel, the red Bindu, which is down below the navel to the pelvic floor. And that could be an orientation I'm having to the earth in a certain position, or some kind of breathing I'm doing, or powerful mantras or visualizations to invoke the passion of life. Because the passion and the wisdom, the compassion and wisdom, are the 2 aspects of life. So the passion is the raw energy, and the wisdom is the pure knowing. They're the both dual aspects of this reality. That's then a red Bindu orientation to that practice. And then some practices are categorized by the blue Bindu at the heart. And the blue Bindu categorization is that of the ultimate equanimity, opening into our essence, opening into that spaciousness, that clarity and emptiness that we are, opening into, you know, when Shiva and Shakti merge and then go beyond themselves. This is represented by the blue Bindu. So those asana, those breathing practices, mantras, kriyas, whatever, that are considered blue Bindu practice are heading that way. So now I'd like you to note that your practice routine is invoking red light interior body as before, and also now we add 5 to 10 minutes of supine yogic natural breathing 2 times per day, okay? That's where we're at right now in the practice.